No. Listen to it. He spelled every word right.
He spelled it right.
No. Like
George
Washington. That's exactly. Welcome. That's it. You said kick and chew. If you want to see what we just heard, or just say what we heard and say
in slow motion.
Exactly. If you want to heard what we just said what we heard, and you know what it is.
Alright, Salmonella video, and it is Timothy Dexter, the dumbest rag to riches story. Without further ado, let's get it. Jose, you know, from Bruce Almighty. Nah, sorry, it's never mind.
Hey kids, now we all know that fate is a fickle thing. Some of us may try to defy its will, but there's enough small businesses with Pizza Hut roofs out there to tell you that such a thing is ultimately futile. As for most of us, we tend to have our fair share of good and bad luck throughout our lives, but every now and then, RN Jesus smiles upon some drooling little loaf child and says, "You, my son, you shall be the one with all the figgy pudding." That child was Timothy Dexter. Dexter was born in Malden, Massachusetts in 1747. He had a humble upbringing, dropping out of school as an 8-year-old to work as a farmhand and a leather worker. But Dexter thought he deserved better, so when he grew up, he married one Elizabeth Frothingham, a rich widow in need of company. Gold digging achieved, he began his quest to become a true aristocrat. As his first step, he thinks, all the rich guys I know are in positions of power. I should run for office. Now, the town of Malden wasn't much keen on appointing a bumbling second-grade dropout, but after rejecting dozens of petitions sent in by Dexter, they eventually gave up and decided to just make some shit up, leading to Dexter becoming the official informer of deer, tasking him with keeping logs on the local deer population. And over statistics of does and bucks alike, Dexter ruled with an iron fist, triumphantly concluding what many had already known: that there weren't any deer in Malden, Massachusetts. Satisfied with his political career, Dexter then set his sights on greater financial ventures. So a little history: in 1775, as part of our growing independence from Britain, the Continental Congress decided to establish their own currency, known as the Continental Dollar. Then the Revolutionary War started, and it dawned on people that these pieces of paper wouldn't be very useful in a giant pile of wet tea and smoldering patriots, causing their value to do one of those horny eagle death spirals. Then the Congress did, that stupid thing that every high schooler learns is stupid, not invading Russia in winter but the other one, practically making them worth less than their weight in paper and ink. And wouldn't you know it, a good portion of the Continental Army was paid with these, so by the time the war ended, many veterans were left totally destitute. The aristocrats were like, well, these grass-eating Untermensches did kind of give us a country, so whatever, we'll throw them a few cents and take this trash off their hands. Dexter was like, ooh, I'm a wealthman, I'm gonna do that too. And he spent the majority of his savings buying a boatload after boatload of the 1780s equivalent of Blockbuster gift cards. By all accounts, this should have been his ruin, but by some stroke of luck, after the Constitution was ratified, the new government decided that they'd trade Continentals for treasury bonds worth 1% of their face value. Doesn't sound like much, but keep in mind, Dexter bought thousands of crates of bills for fractions of pennies apiece. So as buybacks began across the country, his stockpile appreciated massively in value, and this informer of deer realized that, for the first time, there were a lot of bucks in Malden. But just because he was now a man of the upper crust doesn't mean he let it go to his head. Sure, he might have purchased the most luxurious chateau that money could buy, through daily Playboy Mansion-style ragers, and commissioned over 40 statues of America's greatest heroes, one of which was of himself, with a plaque calling him, quote, the greatest philosopher in the Western world. Despite his incredibly tacky displays of wealth, his contemptuous contemporaries still saw him for the loud, illiterate rube he was. So they started giving him deliberately awful investment tips in order to get him to bankrupt himself. One such piece of advice was that he should ship warming pans to the Caribbean. For those of you born after 1850, a warming pan's this dish on a long pole that you fill up with hot coals to warm up your bed. Not much use in a tropical paradise. But Dexter was undeterred by such frivolous things as logic. Went ahead and sent over 40,000 of them to the West Indies. When they arrived, the locals didn't really know what they were looking at and decided to use them as ladles for the sugar and molasses refineries. And by the end of it, Dexter sold every single one at a markup of nearly 80%. Frustrated that their...
That is so lucky. Because think about it, like, 80%. He bought 40,000 and he's sending it to a warm climate.
Yeah,
but they don't need it.
We'll use it for something else, and now
right, and then
I guess we need it. Yeah, I guess we need it.
That's crazy.
The plan backfired. The elites then told him to literally carry coal to Newcastle, which is an old idiom used to describe a pointless task based off the fact that Newcastle was one of the world's biggest producers of coal. The only idioms Dexter knew about all involved different animals shitting in the woods. So he took their word on good faith and went along with it. But by some divine providence, by the time the shipment arrived, the Newcastle coal miners had all gone on strike, and Dexter once again cleared the entire shipment with a...
I mean, at this point, I feel like it's more
God. That's good.
I feel like
that was good.
It's more of a karma on the people giving him advice, just him succeeding is God's way of saying, stop trying to ruin
Stop
him.
messing with this. This my king. This is my king. Stop messing with him.
Freaking
profit. He was like, man, I am so smart. By this point, he was pretty confident in his speculation skills, so he started making seemingly far-fetched ventures all by himself. One time he had a bunch of stray cats rounded up for basically free, which sounds like herding cats, but what do I know? And he sent them to the Caribbean, where they were gobbled up en masse. Not like eaten, but purchased to deal with all the rat infestations. In another instance, he bought up just about every whalebone in Boston. And coincidentally, at the same time in France, men started wearing corsets too for some reason. Demand went way up, Dexter's laughing. Now, from an outside perspective, at the end of the day, Dexter was a very shrewd merchant. So at this point in my research, I was like, wait a minute, is he smart? Then I learned about his life outside of business. Dexter considered himself extremely knowledgeable on just about every topic. Keywords, considered himself. For example, he once stumbled upon a guy painting a sign to go along with the newly built statue of Jefferson, and when he saw that the sign called Jefferson the writer of the Declaration of Independence, Dexter lost his frickin' mind and insisted that Jefferson did not pen the DOI, but rather the Constitution. Spoiler alert, not remotely true, he was in France at the time. An easy mistake to make today, sure, but this was only like 10 years after the fact. That's like someone today saying, Obama didn't kill Bin Laden, dumbass. That was Bill Clinton. Anyway, when the painter refused to change the inscription, Dexter started shooting at him with a long rifle until he complied. Real genteel. Dexter made sure to surround himself with the requisite number of weirdos to maintain this level of delusion, one of which was Jonathan Plummer, a man whom Dexter paid to be his poet laureate, writing only the most laudatory odes in his honor. Mind you, this wasn't just your run-of-the-mill wise-and-wizened wordsmith. Jonathan sold fish for a living. And porn. He just kind of went along with the whole thing for the pocket change. Besides his entourage, Dexter occasionally spent time with the total geeds known as his family. He had 2 children, whom the New England Historical Society describes as a half-mad drunk and a completely mad drunk, respectively. And he couldn't stand his wife on account of her perceived constant nagging, to the point where he would tell guests he was unmarried and that he just had a ghost in his house. Just like, oh yeah, that's a sea hag. You know, mansion built on some old Indian shipwreck or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that.
I'm cold and my hands are rheumatic.
I'm gonna do that, bro.
To light the fireplace for me. Yeah, plenty of that in hell, you banshee bitch. One day, in a massive stroke of ego, Dexter decided to fake his own death, complete with a lavish funeral service just to see who would show up. Lucky for him, about 3,000 people from all walks of life turned up. Though initially staying out of sight, he soon noticed that his wife wasn't crying. So in response, he jumped out and started hitting her upside the head with a cane in front of everybody. But as his true mortality grew closer, Dexter knew he needed a legacy and decided to pen his memoirs titled A Pickle for the Knowing Ones, which was basically just 20 pages of unhinged ranting about politics, religion, his wife, and whatever else came to mind. No punctuation, random capitalization, the most amazing spelling I've ever seen. Here's some excerpts. George Washington, attitude, philosopher, tobacco, general. And this is all just from the first few lines. The entire book is written like this, and just...
He didn't spell any word wrong though. No. Listen to it. He spelled every word right.
He spelled it right, but just not
no. Like
George
Washington. That's exactly what.
I'm just imagining him writing and then just pronouncing it out and spelling it as George Washington.
What?
Attitude.
Bro, attitude.
You know how Americans say it's not attitude, attitude.
Yeah.
So he spelled
attitude. Bro, what? He's right. Bro,
George
what?
Washington.
The best one is
philosopher.
Tobacco. Oh my god, bro.
Tobacco. General. And this is all just from the first few lines. The entire book is written like this. And just like everything else the guy did, the thing sold like fucking hotcakes.
Bro, I would have nightmares reading that book.
The best part is that when he got complaints about the total lack of grammatical anything, in the second edition of the book, he put an extra page at the end full of nothing but punctuation marks, with a little note saying that anyone who felt like whining could just stick them wherever they wanted. Dexter died in 18...
Bro, I'm finna write a book. Just to do
Bro,
that.
he really just said, "Here's a bunch of punctuation. You man, do your takes, man.
Put it where you want. Just put it where you want.
However you read, put it there, bro. That is." He's a legend, bro. He's actually smart.
I feel like he would be such a good comedian today.
Bro, he's so smart. What the flip? Bro, what?
That's funny.
A little note saying that anyone who felt like whining could just stick them wherever they wanted. Dexter died in 1806.
Bro, you didn't read that sentence, did you?
Ended up in
Founder Mr. Printer, the knowing ones complain of my book. The first edition had no stops. I put in enough here, and they may pepper and salt it as they God dang. Bro, I don't think. I think literally only the two worded and like book.
Well, he got I right.
Like the connecting, like the two words and the connecting words are pretty much all he gets right here.
He put in.
Some of these even got me like questioning is that how you spell it? Because I'm like, Mister, is that how you spell Mister?
Bro, he's an actual joke, man.
Did you see how you spell complain?
Yeah. Yo, absolute legend, bro.
Oh my god.
Bro, he's giving
whatever they wanted. Dexter died in 1806, and by and large, he probably should have ended up in Davy Jones's locker. But given the circumstances, I imagine the big man upstairs dropped his big deck of mortal soul trading cards at just the right moment, letting him slip through the pearly gates undetected. And legend has it that to this day, if you pray to the name Timothy Dexter, he'll look upon you kindly and share his skills with you all. Wait a minute. Share?
Skill.
Bro, what? This is the luckiest guy ever,
the luckiest guy ever.
Anything he did turned into gold, bro.
Bro, he did not miss.
He did not miss, bro. Shoot and shoot.
Oh,
Donnie was out here letting people know it. He was like,
he was just
I'm going to send cats
whatever he
to
wants.
Jamaica.
And
It turns out they're like, yo, we got a rap problem.
Like, yeah, we didn't have it before, but we're making this. We're gonna have it.
I'm going to carry coal to Newcastle. What?
Like,
Yo,
hey,
we're on strike.
Dexter's bringing coal. Let's go on strike.
What? No way, bro.
Break it out.
Craziest guy, bro.
For real. Nah, we hope you've enjoyed that. I know I did, because that was funny.
Crazy. They had me at the end when he put all the punctuations. I'm gonna start doing that. My next essay.
Submit it to the professor. Be like,
yo, here's all the punctuations that I feel like could have been used.
Put it wherever you want.
Put it wherever you feel like it's best. Because I didn't have time. I'm sorry for the random capital letters. It's just life, innit? That's funny, man.
But yeah, we hope you've enjoyed. As usual, like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, and we'll see you all in the next one.
Stay blessed.
In a bit.